Well, I think you all know why Micheline said we have a hidden jewel in Essex County. And Dr. Joyce Wilson Harley Esquire is our hidden gem. And I just love her introduction. We're all gathered here tonight to support Mayor Dana Redd. And I am reminded of that old philosophy that the hand that rocks the cradle guides the nation. And in her first term as mayor of Camden, Dana Redd definitely demonstrated to everyone that she was a nurturing mayor who was going to rock the cradle of Camden to make certain that the right thing happened for the citizens of that community. And she has demonstrated that. Joyce described very aptly how much of a challenge it is for a woman to sit in the seat as a CEO and chief administrator of a major city in any state, but none more difficult than the city of Camden. And I don't know how much everyone here knows about their history, but if you know about Camden, New Jersey, you will know that Camden, across the river from Philadelphia, for decades and decades and decades, was one of the major industrial capitals of our state, generating a great deal to the economy of the state of New Jersey. And you all know that as we switched from an industrial economy in this state into a more technological community, you know that a lot of transition happened in major cities all over this country. And Camden was no stranger to the transition that happened in cities all across this country. Camden, because it sits across the river from Philadelphia, had to, for decades, struggle to find and redefine what kind of a city it was going to be. But something I've known from my history is any city that sits on a body of water, it is just a matter of time before that city rises up like Phoenix from the ashes. And ever since Dana Redd sat in the mayor's seat, her vision has been clear. She has understood the elements of what it takes for the resurrection and rebuilding of an urban community in our state and in our country. And you know what? When you are confronted with that type of community building, it creates a lot of uncomfortableness for a lot of different stakeholders. There are many people who would love to see the status quo maintained. There are many people who think that there can be business as usual, that the way we did things in the 1950s and the 1960s, we should just continue to perpetrate that same type of existence. But Dana Redd, a native daughter of Camden, a community she loves, a community that gave her so much, feels that, something Joyce says often, a rising tide lifts all boats. And Dana is committed to that type of ideology and philosophy for all the citizens of Camden. So what does it take for Camden to rise up, this city on a river that has the potential to do phenomenal things. She knows that there are some basic elements it takes for a city to become economically stabilized, to develop a strong middle class, and to interest investment in a community. And because she has the vision to know what Camden can become, during her first term, she struck out and knew she had to march forward with bringing some innovation to government. So what did she do first? She focused in on the crisis in her community as it related to public safety. Because the first thing that is necessary for people to commit to the rebuilding and emergence of a city, people have to feel safe. And in this economic slump that we are in this state and in this country, a lot of the ways in which we could support our public safety operations, we're not able to do that anymore. And so Dana, with some of the best expertise that could be tapped, not only just in New Jersey, but around the country, worked in tandem with community partners, and they struck out to develop a regionalized police force. Now, you'll hear a lot of different pushbacks and theories about whether or not that was the right decision made by Mayor Redd. But let me tell you something. When you look within Camden County, when you look at the size of many of the surrounding communities, when you look at the fact that government in New Jersey today no longer is subsidizing to a large degree a lot of municipal operations, she made the wisest choice that could possibly be made. And she made that choice based on what was best for the residents. I'm going to emphasize residents of Camden, New Jersey. She made the best decision. Now we've got a representative here from one of the major businesses in Camden, Campbell's Soups. And I'm sure if she gave us a voice from the business community, she would articulate that public safety is something that is of major importance to their corporation as their company. You know Mayor Redd has dealt with that. It's evolving. It's going to work. So she addressed in her first term the whole issue of public safety. You know, and I'm seeing my mayor from my neighboring town here tonight, who was the mayor of Orange, New Jersey. No one can tell the story better of what happens when you move forward in progress to move your community forward. Because Mayor Eldridge Hawkins in Orange made some very accurate decisions as well, Mayor Redd. And you know, he was assaulted, but that's okay because his community in the long term will be better off for the decisions that he made, just like you made your tough decisions. Now, education. So she's addressed public safety. Let's talk about education. There is nothing more explosive politically in the state of New Jersey than a discussion of public education. But as a native daughter of Camden, New Jersey, who had the opportunity to have access to a good education, Mayor Redd, in her heart and in her gut, knew and knows that the future of her city depends upon access to quality education for the children that live in Camden, New Jersey. And I always say that there's no such thing as one size fits all in education. What worked for me may not work for Michelle. What worked for Michelle may not work for Assemblywoman Sumter. And Mayor Red understood that and continues to understand that. And as a result, she has moved forward boldly to support some new educational initiatives in the city of Camden. She has. We can give her a clap for that. In the legislature, we worked very closely with Mayor Red to develop an innovative program called Urban Hope. As a result of that legislation, Camden, Trenton, and North will be able to work with the private sector who will commit funding to build new schools. And those schools will be operated by nonprofit educational providers, and it will provide expanded educational opportunity for the children of Camden, New Jersey. But she hasn't stopped there either. She has her eye on the prize in terms of broadened economic development in the city of Camden. And she has worked closely with not only legislators that represent her in Camden County, but legislators across the board. And you will see in the next several weeks, starting in the General Assembly, the movement of legislation that will result in broadening business incentives. And as a result of that legislation that has been championed by our mayor, you will see 3 major economic development initiatives evolve and unfold in the city of Camden. And what that will do, it will create employment. It will help ancillary providers of goods and services, and it will begin to create the energy and enthusiasm for everyone else to get on board. There are great things that are going to happen in Camden, New Jersey, but they will only happen if we have the leadership of Mayor Dana Red. I know we have a lot of political junkies in the audience tonight. I know your faces. And most of you know what has happened in administrations that precluded the administration of Dana Red. We have seen funding go south. We've seen mayors go north. And we have seen scandal. And we have seen impropriety in the administration of Camden's local government. We're not going to have that in the administration of Dana Red. She is a woman of integrity. She is a woman of commitment. And she is a woman that is going to move Camden, New Jersey forward. She is going to move it forward. And Dana, also is a leader in the political party that I belong to. And as vice chair of my political party, she has demonstrated over time her commitment to some core principles and values. And I know that she carries them to work with her every day in the city of Camden. It's not easy being a mayor. And I tell everyone, the hardest job in government is that of a mayor. It's not that of a U.S. senator or a congressperson or a freeholder or a member of the state legislature. The hardest job in government is that of a mayor, because the mayor touches the lives in almost every significant way you could imagine. And the residents of a community, when they are confronted with problems and issues, who do they turn to first? It's not the governor, it's not the Senate president, it's not the Assembly Speaker, it's not the freeholder. They knock on the door of the mayor. And I don't care if it's an issue if they don't have a place to live, they don't have a job, they have a problem in their business, whatever it is, that problem lands on the doorstep of the mayor. And Mayor Red, through her career, has demonstrated her commitment to people, her commitment in terms of understanding the human condition of people, and we know that those are the qualities that you want in a mayor. Now, through the decades, enough men have had the opportunity to lead Camden, New Jersey. Enough men have had the ability to run Camden, New Jersey. You know, and I'm tired of picking up publications and reading that Camden is the poorest city in America. That Camden has more crime than any city in America. Well, you know what? I will echo this message out to the boys down in Camden. Move out the way. The women of power have this sister's back, and she will successfully step into her second term as mayor of Camden, New Jersey, and she can sit in that chair as long as she wishes, because we will be there to support her. Mayor Red, we are there. We know what it's like. I've walked the journey myself. But let me tell you, one thing they don't understand about women in leadership. They don't understand it. They don't understand it. Now, we will be professional. We will not embarrass anyone. But if you push us up against the wall and move us to another place, the wrath will unfold. So, for those of you from Camden, carry the message back home. Carry it back home. And I'm going to wind up with this. This is something we know about women. And we knew this long before Steve Harvey wrote this book. But there are three things that every woman knows. Number one, think like